Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here to share with you. As promised, I wanted to share a little video to express and share what I've received and what I've learned and actually continue to receive and learn from the beautiful Rose Dieta that I did under the guidance of Amy Anthony of Sacred Temple Healing Arts. So first, let's just take a deep breath. And I just pray for the guidance that there's so much that I can share, just the most important and useful shares with you. I knew that I wanted to do this dieta for a long time, and I was waiting for both the right time and the right teacher. And Amy, who I adore, she's an amazing teacher, an epic energy worker. When I need private work, I go to her. and it's always amazing, and I always learn so much. And I feel seen and heard and held. And I always have fun. So it's just like, even when there's deep, hard work involved, which is just such a gift when you find the guides and the teachers that you can deeply move inward and have challenges, but still have fun. So I feel like this journey of the Goddess and Rose Dieta with Amy was just like the whole shebang. Not only is the dieta itself beautiful, the rose herself, just this ultimate divine feminine teacher that encompasses all divine feminine, and even the teachings of union, right, with the masculine, is so gentle, so profound. I've been obsessed with roses really since I was a little girl. I used to draw them all the time, and in ceremonial space, it's like just the rose essence is always with me. And there flew by a stork. I love the birds too. They're so divine feminine for me. I'm so connected with them. Anyways, so even when I brought my picture that I drew like a year ago. I went and did some private work with Amy. And she told me before I came to do some work with her to draw this picture of these symbols that of what I felt were me, what I wanted to step into of myself, and just symbols that were really powerful and important for me. And I thought it was really cool because I didn't know at the time. I don't even know if she knew at the time. I knew she'd been working with the rose. She has been for a while. But I didn't know she was going to offer this offering. But like the main centerpiece of this picture is my insignia that I've been drawing for years, just like this spiral heart that just came to me long ago, and I use it in a lot of my energy work with myself and others. And then so I let it be like the centerpiece of this rose, like the way that I used to draw the rose when I was a child. And then I've just really been wanting to unlock my DNA deeper and more of my potential. So I allowed the spiral of the DNA to be that with the thorns of the rose, and I feel like it's so cool because it's such like a foreshadowing, I think is the right word, into doing this deeper work with Amy. And the very first opening ceremony, okay, like some of the work was done Zoom, and then at the end we had some in-person work, and she did an incredible job of making the container feel intimate even when we had like online gatherings. And I love the way she set it up. So she gives you some profound energy work, and then also meditations that she's designed herself that are just like multi-dimensional, and it's really beautiful because just the dieta on its own is very powerful, and just so many teachings come through. And then in addition to what Amy brings, obviously guided by the rose, is just so powerful. Like each on their own is very powerful, but then when they're together, it's like, whoa. And so you're really guided to take the coursework as much or as little as feels right for you. So she creates this perfect balance of allowing you to also listen and follow your guidance as well, which I found really beautiful. But each of the online gatherings, we receive several activations like in the gatherings, and of course the rose brings in her own activations. But because Amy is such a profound energy worker, it was amazing to me how much energy she was able to bring through and really activate us with in these online gatherings and in person, of course. But I was just like, wow, from a distance you're this powerful. And so the very opening ceremony, Kuan Yin came to me in the middle of the ceremony. And Kuan Yin is like one of these, of course she is an ascended master, and one of these that like I've known about and have looked at from afar. I've been hesitant to connect with her because of my own stuff that maybe I'll just put to the side unless it seems relevant, because I want to stay focused here. But Kuan Yin came in the opening ceremony to me, and I got so emotional. I was just like, whoa, just crying and just feeling so much emotion. And I just like knew that she's important for me, and I'm listening, you know, I mean, like the first night. And then the next day I went to my goddess oracle and was just like, okay, what goddess energy wants to come through in the forefront for me today? And Kuan Yin popped out. It was actually kind of a test to see if it was like Kuan Yin. Sure enough, Kuan Yin. So it's interesting. So I've deepened my relationship with Kuan Yin, which has been really interesting and fun. And I'm experiencing her as a very powerful and compassionate healer. And I'm learning a lot more about her, which is awesome. So wanting to share some of the personal things, I could really talk to you for hours about all of this. So within me, over our time together, I experienced a deep, deep reclamation. Like toward the end, I really experienced myself like coming back onto my own throne within myself, which was very powerful. And this happened after. It's really interesting to me how both gentle, subtle, powerful, and profound the rose is. It's like she's just this beautiful cleaner. And we worked with the rose tea and then also a rose elixir that Amy has made. So we do that throughout the day, and it was really beautiful. It really was like unwinding and grounding, and just this beautiful way to connect with the rose throughout the day. And so much unwound in my solar plexus. I had a block that I've been working there in a while. I have not only like felt this clearing energetically, but also in my voice. I feel it and I hear it. This is the way I explore myself, of course, and do a lot of my work with others is through my voice. And I was able to not only access parts of me that I hadn't had access to in a couple of years because of some traumas that had happened, but also places where I hadn't accessed before, which was really beautiful. And it's still like there for me, which is awesome. I've been dealing with a lot of body stuff in the past few years, body challenges, and it was really beautiful early on in the dieta. The rose came through and she's like, very clearly, the thorns of wisdom and the thorns of pain are one and the same. They are one and the same. And in this, I felt so much more understanding and clarity And pain has been a great teacher for me for several years now, and I'm really doing my best to embrace it and understand it deeper. And the rose has really done this for me. And it was beautiful and interesting too. My tongue got pinker during the dieta, so it was really clear to me that the rose was clearing me out also on this physical level. My digestion was great, which is really beautiful. I cleared a lot of unworthiness, and even defensiveness. It's interesting, while you're in this container, like, things happen, right? And I must say that also, like, in the container, when I had personal challenges, Amy was like accessible for me and super helpful in just like reflecting with me and giving me new angles of perspective to examine whatever was coming up for me. And I had a couple of really tough conversations that were like necessary, that came into my sphere during that time. And I handled them in a different way, naturally, than I previously had. And it was easy. And it wasn't like, it was just like so quick with me, like, this is okay. This person doesn't know me. This isn't understood about me. Or it's okay for people to have this perception. Or it's okay for me to have a challenge. It's okay for me to have not done or said what I wished I would have done or said. Just dropping more into the humanness, and part of this journey was so much about like embracing even the denser parts of this journey. Really literally through this journey of the goddess with Amy and the rose, the dissension was tangible. The ascension was tangible. So great to experience. I was able to look at in a deeper and more engaged way at some prejudice that I was carrying in my body against my own ancestors, which created a very challenging war within me, of course. And through the containers, through my own work, and through the coursework and meditations, and through the energy work, I was really able to hold it and clear it and release it. So much shame I had internalized because of this prejudiceness against things that are within my lineage. So it was really profound and beautiful. I'm looking at my notes here. I want to get everything. I could literally talk about this for so long. Something that's so important. So as I mentioned, I came into this before my 40th birthday, and seriously, I felt, and it was so beautiful to be held within this container and guided by both the Rose and Amy, and just with these other beautiful sisters. I felt a shift from my maiden into my mother. And I feel, and I just, it all through, like from the middle to the end, and it was just this rite of passage. And I feel deeply that these rites of passage, as we graduate into womanhood, motherhood, cronehood, when women start to bleed, like, we need these rites of passage. It's like there was this part of me that was like, oh, it's okay for me to grow up now. I'm an adult now. You know, at the same time, of course, we always nurture our inner child. That's like the most important. But I literally, through the rose and the energy and my own perception as it shifted, literally I see more in the world, in the third dimensional world and beyond, But especially in the third dimensional world, there are just like energies and things that I've been able to see and embrace, that are feminine in quality that I hadn't before. And I just literally felt like many times that I was like in this rite of passage, and like inside of me, I felt like there was like this carpet of petals being made for me to walk on into this next level of maturity within myself, which is really beautiful. My big intention for this year has been maturity, because I had noticed that there are parts in my emotional being that were not like exactly caught up to my spiritual maturity. And so knowing that those were areas that I wanted to work on, it was really beautiful to have this opportunity to step more into maturity, and then to hear, you know, the Divine Mother guiding me in that the thorns of wisdom and the thorns of pain are one and the same. And in this intention this year has been a doozy, but I've learned and grown so much. So loved that rite of passage. I needed that. I've never had that, you know. She also told me, especially a lot toward the end, and when I say she, I mean both the Rose and the Divine Feminine, the Holy Mother, the Christ Mother, however you want to call it. It was just this big sort of instruction and guidance to focus way more on what I'm bringing in than what I'm putting out. And I hadn't even actually really realized how much I was more focused on what I was sharing to a degree than what I was receiving. This is another huge thing I was given. And a huge shift happened in our in-person gathering, the weekend of embodying the Goddess with Amy, which was epic. From her dance to her energy work to her meditations to the breath work that Carrie offered, it was just like so epic. And the discussions, you know, but being able to receive, I had a huge clearing in the back of my heart chakra, and just this a deeper feeling of safety, that it is safe to receive, and I was able to receive more. And this work, I feel, was collective. I loved how we each had our own individual work, we had guided work, and then we had group work. And that is something that's unique about this Dieta, of course. And the way that Amy is guided to hold it, guide it, and share it, it was huge for me. Like, I'll literally never be the same. I'm clearer. My crown's more open. My solar plexus is more open. My sacral's more open. I'm more grounded. There was a mantra that was so important to me, and these ancestors that used to sing through me years ago that like I just got disconnected from. I searched for this mantra, couldn't find it. Through some of Amy's teachings, the mantra came back to me. And I'm not gonna give it away because I want you to like find this for yourself. But it was so great to like come back home to this mantra and the way that it helped me not only connect to the earth, but to all of the divine things that are birthrighted to me as a child of the earth, to all of us. And not only did like this mantra return back to me, but these ancestors have begun to sing through me again, which has been amazing. So yeah, I can't say enough about it, this journey of the goddess and this Rose Dieta with Amy. She's a powerful, compassionate, profound guide. I'm looking at my notes. I want to make sure that you guys, if you're called to this work with Amy, please invest in yourself. It is so, so, so worth it. And I will be communing with the Rose in this deeper way for the rest of my life. I am so grateful. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Sisters of the Rose. Thank you, Great Rose, Sacred Mother Goddess. I will forever be centered in my Sacred Rose heart. Mwah.